Welcome to Art Boxing S&C, your go-to for boxing.
So let's dive straight into it and forget the chit chat. So strength and conditioning is very important for boxing because it increases your speed and power, which is very important when you're younger and when you're older. So youths need to do it as well as the adults, the older generation. So this is what you need to do. So we start off with a full body workout, and a full body workout at the end of the week. We do the hinge at the start, and then we do the squat for the main compound exercise at the end. The reason for the squat is because it's quite heavy on DOM, so you get muscle soreness in the legs. DOM stands for delayed offset muscle soreness. So this is when your muscles get sore 2 days after, so you need to rest them to recover. So by integrating this training system, you've got the whole weekend to recover, then you can get into your boxing training. So you don't want to be sore during boxing because you'll be really stiff and slow, and we don't want that. You want to be agile, so you want to be moving about so you don't get hit. The whole point of boxing is to hit and not get hit. So let's go back in strength and conditioning. I like to utilise contrast training where you pair heavy exercise to fire the nervous system, and then you go into the explosive exercise such as a jump. So when you fire the nervous system, you fire the post-activation potentiation, which will set you off so you feel light. When you go for the jump, you feel really light because you've just done heavy exercise, and then you do it more explosive, and then over time this will translate to your sport and you'll be faster and quicker. So that's why we use contrast training. But first you need to integrate strength training. You need to build up your strength. You don't just go straight to contrast training, so you might do a mesocycle, about 2-3 blocks, build it up, and then the third or fourth block that you might go into contrast training depending on your coach. But I definitely would advise you to do contrast training for sports performance. So we want to do full body at the start of the week and at the end of the week. So we do the hinge compound exercise at the start of the week, such as a trap bar deadlift, and then we do a squat, a barbell squat at the end of the week, depending on your mobility, because there's a lot of DOMs. So this is delayed offset muscle soreness. So you get really sore normally 2 days after, depending on the athlete. It can be a day, it can be 2 days. So you need to recover because you'll be immobile for boxing. You need to be able to move because you want to move your head and move your feet well, slipping and rolling punches, dodging punches, as you don't want to get hit because then you get outpointed and you lose the fight. But in a professional game, a lot of boxers really work strength and conditioning because they're going for the knockout. Because as you get older, you start getting slow, your ratio start going down, so you need to be more technical, and that's why it's a bit more slower paced. But they hit harder, so you've got to be very careful. You don't want to be catching them blows. So for the strength and conditioning, I really love it. But there's other modalities as well. So you've got different training blocks in training. You've got linear periodization and you've got conjugate training. I like to use linear periodization because it's progressively overload, and I think you gain better out of it for sports performance. But you've got conjugate as well, which is 3 modalities. You've got max effort, you've got dynamic effort, and you've got repetition effort. So there's 3 different modalities you can include in your training, but then that's too many. So what you need to do is you need to put that into one as a full body workout. So then do 2, same thing again. Start off with the compound exercise of a hinge 1 week, the end start of the week, and the end of the week do a squat, barbell squat or goblet squat, between your mobility. So